Tim Pierce. In today's video, we're going to look at chaining overdrive pedals. You use one, set it to just the right spot, and rather than changing it when you want more, you use another one right behind it, and then maybe even another one right behind that. It really works. Also, we're going to look at the differences between this guitar and a vintage guitar, and also I'm going to teach you what I did in the solo, playing over G and G mixolydian, G major pentatonic. Also, we're going to look at my fancy PRS and the tones it gets, and also my vintage Epiphone Wilshire and how each guitar turns me into a different animal. Click the link below if you want the expanded lesson on this in the online masterclass. There's a 14-day free trial, so you can check it out and see if it's right for you. These days, I use the neck pickup for a lot of my soloing. I really like the neck pickup sound on this guitar. It's thick, but it has clarity. I'm using 2 distortion pedals for this solo sound. And the reason is when you find the sweet spot, the good spot on one distortion pedal or overdrive pedal, and in this case, it's the most distortion, and you want more push, it's often better to leave the first one where it is rather than try and push that one because you found the good spot. Leave it alone. And then in front of it, I'm using the super sweet to push it. I'll demonstrate. So here is the most distortion by itself. Very open and clear sounding, but with just the right amount of push. I'm using the Park 45-100, which is a big, clean amp. I'll turn the most distortion off. Sounds like this. Pretty clean. So the most distortion is adding something. Most distortions are rare, but my friend Greg Drummond makes the Karma pedal, which sounds exactly like it. So look that up if you want one of these. Don't have to try and hunt for a most distortion. It really is a perfect clone. So now let me add the super sweet. So I've kept this good spot on the most distortion. Here goes the super sweet. Still has the clarity, but now it has all that sustain and push that I wanted. I want to talk about the reasons I love this guitar so much. It plays itself. It's super, just low action, even everywhere on the neck. I can do all the connected stuff, all the smooth stuff, all the fast stuff that I want to do. I can really fly on this guitar. Now, if I pick up a vintage guitar, I become a different character, and maybe that's better sometimes because it makes me more rough around the edges. I have to play simpler. That's good too. But this guy, everywhere on the neck, it's really easy to play. And the neck pickup sounds really open, clean. Now let me jump on the most distortion. Let me turn down the distortion, clean it up, find the sweet spot, as it were. This is easy for me to fly on it. Here's a quick solo in a different style with the neck pickup and just the most distortion on that to me reads on the cleaner side, but it kind of shows you how easy it is for me to play and get around on this guitar. Now, the one thing this guitar doesn't have, I think the only thing it's not great at, is single note soloing up high on the bridge pickup. So let me switch. It's a good sound, but I want more thickness. All I do, I turn off the most distortion, turn on the XTS Imperial Overdrive. That gives me the thickness I need up there. Now, not every pedal sounds great up there. I had to kind of search, and I decided that the XTS was the one for single note soloing, bridge pickup up high on this guitar. Kind of sings, sounds clear, doesn't sound muddy. And with you and your pedals, whatever you have, it's trial and error for something like this. So a guitar doesn't do everything. This does everything but thick notes on the bridge pickup. The bridge pickup sounds great down here, but it's a very kind of glassy, open sound. Turn on the most distortion. Still pretty glassy. But still very clean and open. Wouldn't call it thick. You can't have one without the other. That's the thing. Okay, now I'm going to switch to the XTS. Now I've got the thickness. that's the thing. The guitar is not as thick as you might want it to be on the bridge pickup, but because of that, there's clarity and a bell-like quality, and the pedal provides the thickness and the mid-range. So a deficit becomes an asset by adding the right element to it. So this is my old Epiphone Wilshire. It's devalued by a broken neck, lots of modifications. Looks like they removed the vibrato. I love this guitar. It's super lightweight, super affordable. And if I wanted to like refret it and put fat frets in because the value is already down, I wouldn't bring down the value any further. So that's why I love these player guitars. This thing sounds really good. It's pretty easy to play for having 10s on it and having a pretty old neck. Certainly not as easy as a PRS. It's sounding pretty strong just through the park. Now the park is going through a 412 Marshall cabinet with Celestion V30s going through 2 microphones. That's what you're hearing, 57 and a Royer. Kind of distorting nicely through that, but I want to show you how 3 pedals can really work well too. So I'm going to light up the Mostortion. Here we go. Very light. Now let me turn it up just a little so you can hear it. Switch it on and off so you can hear it in and out. I'm actually going to back it down a little bit because I know I'm going to be adding other pedals. So here it is off. Nice clarity. On, you still get the clarity, but there's some thickness. So now I'm going to bring in the Super Sweet behind it. Too distorted. Let me bring it back because I want to maintain that clarity. Rolling it down to, it's about on 3 out of 10. So both pedals are just barely pushed. That's the idea, to find a really nice spot on each and then push just a little bit. Now this guitar leads me to play in a more chordal fashion. And like the PRS, I'm on the bridge pickup, and when I play single notes, it's a bit skinny up top. Still very pleasurable, but skinny. And I say you can't have one without the other. You can't have a clear bell-like sounding guitar in all these ranges without having it sound skinny up top. It's just the nature of it. It's the one thing a guitar like this or my PRS can't do that well. So I'm going to try and get it with 3 pedals in a row now. I'm going to activate my boost line driver, which is basically the microamp cleaned up. Here we go. Pretty good, but I want more. So I'm going to get it from the Super Suite. I think that's the place to get it because the MXR boost line driver is kind of a push. It doesn't really change. It just kind of lights up the front end of the amp. So I don't think it'll change much if I do that. I'm going to use the Super Suite to get more thick tone on these high notes. Yep, it did. I'm going to turn it off. Look at the difference it's making. Let me light it up. Now, I am betting it's going to be too thick for down here. No, not bad. You can still hear all the notes. And it's really nice for single low notes. What's not to like? And then I have thickness up here. Now, these are 10s. I have to fight them a little bit, and the action's a little bit higher than on my PRS, so it changes me. I become a more maybe kind of traditional 70s rock player, which is not a bad thing. And there's a tendency for more little bumps and scrapes, which is not a bad thing also. So So as much as I crave my PRS because I can do all this smooth stuff on it, it's always nice to pick up a guitar like this and get rough around the edges again. For this solo, I'm in G mixolydian and G major pentatonic. You can kind of turn your mind off and just use these two scales. G mixolydian has a nice flat 7 going, which can create a nice tritone here, here, and here. The other scale I use for this, and it takes away some of that tension and that notiness. My G mixolydian with the open G drone, you get this kind of psychedelic stuff. Pretty cool, but I also use G major pentatonic, which is this beautiful thing up here. And of course down here. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. If you are a subscriber, please ring the bell. It lets us let you know every time a new video is released. You can also support us by clicking the link below for the online masterclass. As I always say, we're up to over 100 hours of lessons and content, over 1,000 videos. There's a 14-day free trial. Take your time, take a long look. We'd love to have you join us.